Right, guys. Good morning. So we're starting the fifth full paper, right? Like fifth paper of the full paper series. Now we're discussing the first paper of the fifth full paper series, the fifth paper of the full paper series, and here we go. So we are going to start now. Right. So starting from the first question, very first question. Which microbes or microbial metabolism is used in industrial wine production? Right, the first question is that. So that is something very simple, and hopefully that you all know. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is the responsible microorganism, isn't it? So it is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, the fourth answer, right? Which microbial metabolism is used in industrial wine production. So in the wine production, what we use is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, right? Right. The second question, the correct choice regarding chemoautotrophs, right? The correct choice regarding the chemoautotrophs, right? They use organic compounds as a source of energy. That is wrong. They are asking for the chemoautotrophs. Now, when it comes to the chemoautotrophs, chemo means the energy source is the chemical energy, and the autotroph means that they are like producing their own food, right? Autotrophs mean like they are producing their own food. So they use organic compounds as source of energy. That is wrong, because when it comes to the autotrophs use the non-inorganic or non-produced molecules for their energy resource. So this is wrong. They use organic compounds as the carbon source. No, because they are autotrophs. Autotrophs usually use inorganic carbon as their carbon resource, right? That is also wrong. Third one, they use light as their energy source. No, their energy resource is chemo, the chemical energy. Some uses nitrates as their energy source. Can happen, we'll keep it for a moment, we don't know. They all release atmospheric nitrogen. No, that is wrong. So the answer is supposed to be 4, right? Answer is supposed to be 4. Answer is 4, right? Come to the next question. A process carried out by aerobic or facultative anaerobic microorganisms is, right? A process carried out by aerobic or facultative anaerobic microorganism. So in the process, the producing compost from discarded plants. A process carried out by aerobic or facultative anaerobic microorganisms. Okay, so the process of producing compost is completely aerobic. So this is somewhat correct. And the process of producing alcohol from the pulp juice. Yeah, that is also one of the fungus's work, right? So it's a facultative anaerobic action of yeast. So that is also correct. When producing biogas in a wastewater treatment plant, even in that case, yeah, the aerobic microorganisms are used. That is correct. Nitrogen fixation process in legume root nodules. That case, it's, let's say, mostly the aerobic microorganisms, but it's not mentioned there in the theory, that we don't know, or we don't directly discuss if the nitrogen fixing bacteria are aerobic or not, right? So we'll keep it for a moment. When water filters through rocks in the trickling filtration process of wastewater treatment, yeah, even in that case we use the aerobic microorganisms, even that is correct, right? A process carried out by aerobic or facultative anaerobic microorganism. Now, nitrogen fixation is not relating to the aerobic or facultative anaerobic respiration process. So the answer supposed to be 4, and the question supposed to be which is not, right? The question is asking a process carried out by aerobic or facultative anaerobic, but the question supposed to be which is not a process carried by aerobic or facultative anaerobic microorganisms. So the answer is 4 anyways, right? And you have to correct the question, which is not, right? Which is not a process carried out by aerobic or anaerobic microorganism is the question, right? A process that is not part of bioremediation. Now, bioremediation is removing the toxic materials or the toxic chemicals from environment, like environmental polluted surroundings. Yeah. So for that we are using the microorganisms either living in the the surrounding, that is in the polluted area, or we genetically modify some of the bacteria that is taken from there, that area, and we use them back again to remove the toxins. So it's something simple. If I that is in a nutshell how the bioremediation is explained, right? So activated sludge process that treats wastewater discharge from factories. Yeah, you can use bioremediation for that, because it's completely the wastewater, so the toxins or the unwanted substance are there. So for that you can use the bioremediation to remove the toxins, like removing toxic materials using the microorganisms, right? That is what you do in the bioremediation. Yeah, you can do that in that process. In case where oil tankers have been involved in accident and oil spills have spread in with the ocean waters, even that, yes, that is also correct. You can use the bioremediation for that. Third question, in the process of vitamin production by bacteria that live symbiotically in the human intestine. Well, that is something not toxic, and why would you remove the microorganisms who are producing vitamins, right? It's not necessary. So something does not come under the the bioremediation functions. Fourth answer, in the process of producing compost from household waste. Yeah, that in that case, yeah, you can use it, right? You can use it. In the process of detoxifying heavy metals, yeah, even for that you can use bioremediation for sure, right? That is something correct, true, right? And the answer is supposed to be 3, right? Yeah, answer is supposed to be 3. Which of the following polymers is a natural polymer, right? Synthetic rubber, bakelite, cellulose, nylon. Yeah, it's obvious, it's cellulose, right? Most abundant molecule on our planet, right? Cellulose, because it's green everywhere, and the cellulose is there where the green is mostly, right? Because it's plants. What are the main ingredients used in the production of soap? Right. So in soap, what you use is you use either one of the animal lipids or the animal oils or the plant oils, right? And you mix it with the sodium hydroxide. So then you produce the soap, right? In the saponification reaction. So caustic soda and glycerol. No, glycerol is one of the products. That is the byproduct. Caustic soda and salt solution, no. Caustic soda and plant or animal oil, yes. Yeah, right. Glycerol and plant or animal oils, glycerol and salt solution here. So the answer is supposed to be 3, right? Answer is supposed to be 3. 7th question, the correct answer regarding the rate of reaction of chemical reaction given below, right? So they are asking for the rate of reaction of this chemical, like sort of a relationship of the rate of reaction of these reactants and products given, right? So the correct answer regarding the rate of reaction of the chemical reaction given. Okay. So the best way to answer this is like you write the average rate of reaction of all the terms and you identify which are equal and which way they are getting equal. So if I apply the equation for the NO2, that will be our rate of NO2 consumption. This is used to produce this, it's consumption. So it's a product, sorry, it's a reactant, so it's decaying, so the minus should be there. And since we are writing the average rate of reaction, the reciprocal of the stoichiometry should be there, that is 1/2, and the concentration of NO2 should be there, right, and delta T, right, delta T. That is the rate of NO2. And if I take the rate of Cl2, that is RCl2 equals minus, there is no stoichiometry in the front, it is 1, so the reciprocal of 1 will be 1, so you do not have to apply it, and Cl2 concentration difference over delta T, and that is 1. The other one is the rate of production of NO2Cl, that is RNO2Cl equals, and there is the stoichiometry, but you do not have to put minus because it is producing, not decaying. So it is 1/2 the concentration difference of NO2Cl divided by delta T. So that is the complete rate of reactions, right? And what are getting equal there? So all of this is all the average rate of reaction. So these are all equal, and in some cases they cross multiply the values. So maybe kind of answer can be also there. If I check this third answer, minus NO2, if you cross multiply this, that will be, even Cl2 is minus, so there is no minus there, that is an issue. If I check the fifth answer, that is this equals to this, so this is, yeah, this is correct, isn't it? This equal to this, yeah, so it's the fifth answer, right? It's the fifth answer is correct, right? Malli OBS එක record වෙනවද? Yes, right. Right. The rate of chemical reaction increases as the concentration of the reactants increases. This may be due to, right? The rate of chemical reaction increases as the concentration of the reactant increases. Okay, yes, that is correct. And they are asking, this may be due to decrease in the activation energy of the reaction. No. Increasing the concentration doesn't affect the activation energy. Nothing affects the activation energy, only the catalyst or the enzymes can take the reaction in a low activation energy pathway. Doesn't mean it reduces the complete, you know, the actual activation energy of the reaction. It only takes it in a different way. That is what the catalyst does. So this is not correct, right? This is not correct. Increase in the speed of the forward reaction. If the concentration is high in the reactants, the forward reaction is accelerated. That is true, but it's not how you explain how the concentration affect the rate of reaction, right? There is a effect that happens, but not how it happens, right? How and why it happens, no. So this is also wrong, right? They are asking how the concentration affects the rate of reaction, like how does it increase in the chemical way, right? So an increase in the number of collisions between the reactant molecules. Now this is something correct. Yes, that is something completely correct, because an increase in the number of collisions between reactant molecules, you know, there is a reason how it increases the rate of reaction. Yeah, that is correct. Fourth answer, so you don't have to consider the fourth answer and fifth answer, right? The order of the reaction increases, increase in the activation energy, you know, right? So the answer is 3, right? Ninth question, in an experiment to find the heat of reaction, a student mixed 1 mole per cubic decimeter NaOH, 100 cubic centimeters, and 1 mole per cubic decimeter HCl, 100 cubic centimeters in a heat insulated chamber. The initial temperature of the mixture was 25 degrees of Celsius and the maximum temperature reached after mixing was 50 degrees of Celsius. Assuming that the density of the solution is 1 gram per cubic centimeter and the specific heat capacity of the solution 4.2 joules per gram per Kelvin, the heat of reaction is, right? They are asking for the heat of reaction, right? So the information are given to find the values to calculate the standard heat of reaction. So what are the values you need to calculate the standard heat of reaction? This is standard heat of reaction, delta H naught, that is equal to Q over N. So you have to find the Q value and the N. So the Q is the energy released in the reaction in kilojoules, and the N is number of moles of reactants reacted, right? So now the first thing you have to find the Q. How do you find the Q? You find the Q using Q equals MC theta. Here the data are given to calculate the heat or the energy release using MC theta, right? So you have to apply Q equals MC theta here, right? Q equals MC theta. So M, the mass isn't given directly as well. So you have to apply a different formula to get the mass as well. Now the density is given. So we already know that density equals mass over volume. So density into volume is equal to mass. So you can use that, right? So I'm using this here, the density equals mass over volume equation. So the density is given 1 gram per cubic centimeter, and the volume that they are adding is like 100 together, that is 200 of a volume, right? So density is 1 gram per cubic centimeter, right, equals, you have to find the mass, and the volume is 200 cubic centimeters, right? That is 200 cubic centimeters. So you cross multiply it, so you get an answer for mass, that is 200 grams, isn't it? That is 200 grams, right? So you can apply it now here. Q equals MC theta, right? So I'm going to apply here. Now Q equals you already found the mass, and the specific heat capacity is also given in grams, so you can directly apply the grams to the equation, that is 200 into 4.2, the specific heat capacity, and the temperature difference is, it's rising from 25 to 50, that is 25 degrees of Celsius of a temperature difference, right? 50 minus 25. So you have to multiply this and get the answer. Okay. So now what do you have? 200 into 4.2 into 25, that is 21,000. So you can write it 21 kilojoules. Yeah, 21,000 joules equals 21 kilojoules. So now we have the Q. The next thing to find actually is the number of moles reacted, right? So in the reaction NaOH and HCl, they are reacting 1:1 of a ratio, right? HCl plus NaOH reacts and produce NaCl plus H2O. So if you balance the equation, there's one sodium here balanced, one chlorine here balanced, number of hydrogens here are 2, number of hydrogens are there also 2, oxygen is 1, so it's completely balanced. So it's 1:1 of a reaction, right? This is the stoichiometry of the complete reaction. So with 1 mole of NaOH reacts with 1 mole of HCl, right? So that is how the reaction reacts. And you're supposed to find the number of moles. So the facts are given, the information are given there to find the both concentration of NaOH and HCl. So now this is the thing, doesn't matter whichever you find, if there's a like the doesn't matter whichever the number of moles you are finding, like if it is NaOH or HCl, it doesn't matter, right, because they are 1:1. So if they both have the same values, you can take one of the values, you don't have to find both. But if two of the values are different, you know, if in that case, that is something you call the limiting factor. You have to consider the limiting factor. We discussed this in the previous papers and the lessons. Now if there is a limiting factor, you have to consider the most lacking number of moles for the formula here, right. So in this case, both the you know the stoichiometry are same, and even in the formula, you know, even in the concentrations, they are same in the concentration and they are same in the amount of volume that is taken out as well. So here the number of moles are supposed to be also equal. So I'll show it. Now C equals N over V, right. If I take this to the NaOH, that will be, you know, the concentration of the NaOH is 1 mole per cubic decimeter, right, 1 mole per cubic decimeter equals the number of moles over the volume. You have to find the number of moles, and the volume is 100 cubic centimeters, and that is 0.1 sorry 0.1 cubic decimeters. You cross multiply it, you get N equals 0.1 moles, right. That is the number of moles of NaOH. And if you check the number of moles of HCl, that is NaOH, the concentration is back again the 1 mole per cubic decimeter equals, you have to find the number of moles, and the volume is again 100 cubic centimeters, that is 0.1 cubic decimeter. So 0.1 cubic decimeter, right. So you have to apply this in cubic decimeters because the concentration is given in cubic decimeters as well. So that's only you can simplify, otherwise it's wrong. So you cross multiply it, you get the number of moles as 0.1 moles, right, 0.1 moles, right. So you have like both the moles, number of moles of HCl and NaOH as 0.1. So you don't have to take the limiting factor here because none of these are limiting, right. So they are in the same amounts. So you can directly apply to the delta H naught equals Q over N equation. So I'm going to apply it here. So delta H naught equals Q over N. We found Q as 21 kilojoules, right, that is 21 kilojoules, and the number of moles are 0.1 moles, yes, that is 0.1 moles. So dividing this, you get how much? 210 kilojoules per mole, right. This is supposed to be the answer, 210 kilojoules per mole. Answer is supposed to be this, and kilojoule should be there. Yeah, so the answer is actually 3, right. Answer is actually 3. 10th question, which statement about primary metabolism is false? Carbohydrates, lipids, etc. are primary metabolites. Yeah, they are. Carbohydrates, lipids, yeah, primary metabolites. Important for the growth of plant and animals. Yes, they are very important, right. Third answer, does not directly participate in the reproduction of living things. They do, right. The primary metabolites are affecting the growth, the survival, the reproduction, everything, right. So that is also true, right, that is true. Secondary metabolites are formed by the modification of primary metabolites, that is true. Yeah, that is true, and also contained in some microorganisms, It's not in some microorganisms, it's almost there in all the microorganisms, right? The third one also says that does not, right? Does not directly participate in the reproduction of the living things. That is also wrong. And even this is also wrong. Also contained in some microorganisms. No, it contains in all, like all, not almost, like it contains in every and each organisms alive. So this is also wrong. So we have two answers. You can answer either 3. You can take either 3 or 5 as an answer, right? Doesn't matter. 11th question. In the concept of super clean production, it is very important to dispose of our materials in a managed manner or use them for other useful purpose. The incorrect statement in this regard: making compost using the decomposing solid waste. Well, so making compost using the decomposed solid waste is one of the these 3R processes, right? One of the 3R processes. So when we discuss about the concept of super clean, that is mostly the 3R: the reduce, reuse and recycle, right? Second one, recycling cardboard, glass and plastic. Yes. Converting straw, chaff and wood chips back into useful materials. Of course. Increase use of thin polythene sheets. But that's not something acceptable. We'll keep it for a moment. That is not acceptable. Using biodegradable components as raw materials to facilitate a decomposition in the production of polyethylene. Yes, that is also correct. So the answer is 4, right? Answer is 4. Right, come to this one. The figure shows a setup prepared by a student to separate the colors containing in plant leaves using the paper chromatography technique. The RF value of color L is, yes, yeah, sorry, 1, right? So this is color 1 here, and its height is H2, isn't it? It's a bit of a blurred. Yeah, it's H2. This is H2. Its height is H2. So RF value simply is the distance travelled by the component divided by the distance travelled by the mobile front, right? So this is the distance travelled by the molecule, which is H2, and this is the distance travelled by the mobile front, that is X, right? Yeah, that is X. So the RF value of this component should be H2 divided by X, that is 3, right? Answer 3, that is simple. Right, 13th question. Consider the following statements about ethanol synthesis. By fermenting a sucrose solution with yeast. Yeah, you produce alcohol. Fermenting sucrose solution with yeast. That is correct. By reacting ethene with steam under control. Yes, you can do that. That is a industrial way of producing ethanol. One of the industrial ways, right? One of the industrial ways, yes. By reacting it with water under controlled conditions. Can't actually react it with water and produce alcohol. That is wrong. By reacting ethane with sulfuric acid. Ethane, not ethane, ethene. This is something wrong because alkane, this is an alkane, right? So if you are producing alcohol, you have to use ethene, right? You have to use ethene, which has a double bond in the middle. So that is also wrong, right? Of the above statement, the correct method for synthesizing ethanol are. That's 3 of the answers. By reacting with water under controlled conditions. No, bro. So the answer is supposed to be A and B. There's so many answers including A and B, but now if we took this as ethene, this will also be correct because we react sulfuric with ethene to produce alcohol, which is ethyl alcohol. So if we took it as a correct, the A, B, D is supposed to be the answer, but that is supposed to be, now in this case it should be AB, but since there is no answer here, we have to correct something to get the answer. So yeah, the D, if the D in the D answer, if the ethane was ethene, this phrase is completely, this statement is completely correct. So if I consider that, the answer will be 2, ABD, right? We'll take it that way. Right, 14th question, a chemical test for detecting glucose, right? Detecting glucose, and that is directly the Benedict solution, isn't it? It's a Benedict solution, right? Consider the following conventions: Montreal, Kyoto, Cancun, right? So the above conventions, the convention that contributes to minimizing the release of greenhouse gases. So Montreal, yes. Kyoto, yes. Cancun is something about the weather change, yeah. So this is not. So it's A and B. AB, AB. Yes, AB. A only, this is supposed to be A and B, right? Yeah, that's supposed to be A and B. So the answer is 2 actually, right? Answer is 2, A and B. Consider the following statement regarding the photochemical smog. It reduces the transparency of the atmosphere. Yeah, that is correct. This refers to the formation of suspended particles in the atmosphere which are made by nitrogen containing gases and unburned carbon in the presence of sunlight. That is also correct. Chemical fumes cause damage to the human digestive system. It actually is not. It's mostly damaging the eyes and the lungs. Does not adversely affect the survival of agricultural crops. Wait a minute. Does not adversely affect the survival of agricultural crops. Does not adversely affect. It does. It affects the survival of agricultural crops. So the answer is AB. A and B only. Answer 5. Right. Answer is 5. Okay. 18th question. When the two shaded semicircular parts are cut out, the area of the largest square that can be cut out from the remaining part. So this is 20 centimeters. This is 14 centimeters. So here the radius is supposed to be 7. Therefore, here it's also 7. This part should be 6, right? So the question is asking the area of the largest square that can be cut out from the remaining part. So if this is 6, the largest that you can cut out for this side also should be 6. This is 14, but you can only cut the 6 size of a square because it's a square. The side should be equal. So it's another 6 should be somewhere from here, right? So it's 6 into 6, that is 36, right? That is 36. 19th question. The figure shows an aluminium plate of length 4A and 2A. Okay, right. The shaded part has been removed. This part, the shaded part, it's been removed, right? Find the area of the removed part. They're asking for the area of the removed part. So 2 of the squares are there. So if I divide this into equivalent sizes, that will be one side A, right? One side A. So the area of one square is A square. So 2 of the A squares are there. And if you check all the other shaded parts, look at this part and this part. If you add these 2 together, yeah, you get the complete square back again. So these 2 together, it's a square. So it's a square. And these 2 together is also a square. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. 4A square, right? It's 4A square, right? That is 4A square. In the triangle ABC shown in the figure, side BC square equals to BC square. So BC square is equal to AC square minus AB square, right? So I'll write it. BC square should equal to AC square minus AB square, right? AC square minus AB square, supposed to be the answer, right? So AC square is m plus n and its square, that is m plus n and its complete square, minus AB square is m, so it's m square, right? Right. So if I multiply this, that will be m square plus 2mn plus n square, right? The simplification of this, minus m square. So m square to m square cancels out. So BC square equals to 2mn, right? 2mn plus n square. That should be the answer. That kind of answer is not there. But if you take the common factor n out, that will be n times 2m plus n, isn't it? So the answer is n times 2m plus n, that is 4, right? That is 4. Question number 21. The angle of elevation at which a parrot perched on a wall can see a mango fruit at the top of a tree is 60 degrees. Now this is 60 degrees, right? This is 60 degrees. If the height of the tree is 11 meters, right? This complete height of the tree is, if it is 11 meters, right? And the height of the wall is 2 meters. This is 2 meters. Okay. How far must the parrot fly to reach the mango fruit? They are asking for this length, right? This length. So if this is 2, this is 11. This height supposed to be 9, right? So you have to find this, the hypotenuse. We will take it as x. So the hypotenuse, the opposite and the angle are there. So you put opposite over hypotenuse, that is sine. So put sine 60. Sine 60 equals, opposite is 9 and the hypotenuse is x. Sine 60 is root 3 over 2 equals 9 over x. So the x equals 18 over root 3. 18 over root 3 answer is not there, so you have to convert back this into the search. So if I write this, if I multiply the 18 over root 3 by root 3 and divide it by root 3 the same time, it will be root 3 into root 3 becomes 3, 18 root 3, so 3 to 18 cancels out, that is 6 root 3. And voila, this is the answer. So 22. It has been decided to cover the shaded area of playground with a circular cross section with grass blades. Find the area of the area covered by the grass blades in square meters. They are asking for this area, right? Asking for this area, okay. Right? So we have to use a formula. Now it's easy if we use the direct formula of the two of the sectors. Now if I found the complete area of this complete sector and deduct that area from like by this area, right? By this area, that will be the shaded part, isn't it? So I take the complete area of this sector, not the circle, it's a sector. If I take the complete area of the sector and if I deduct the complete area of the small sector, it will give the shaded area of the grass blade. Yeah? Yes. So this is how I am going to do. Easy way is a half r square theta, right? And the angle is 300. You have to convert the angle into radians in this way to apply into the formula. So I am applying the area formula of which is including the radians, right? So that is half r square theta, and for that you have to convert the 300 into radians. So that's 300. We already know 180 degrees is 5 radians, right? 5 reds. 180 is 5 red. Yeah. So you have to find 300. What 300 is? 180 you can divide by 60, that is 3. Divide by 60, that is 5. So the radians are 5 pi over 3 of an angle there is, right? Of an angle is there. Okay. Now what shall we do? This is what I can do, guys. So I'm applying this straight formula for the area, half r square theta minus, I'll take it as r1, and half r2 square theta, right? That is the direct formula you can apply, right? So I'm going to apply the value. The large sector r is completely 7, that is 7 square into the radian value is 5 pi over 3 minus half r square of the small sector, that is 7 minus 2, and it's 5, right? That is 5. So 5 square into back again 5 pi over 3. So you have to simplify this and get the answer, right? And if I simplify this, how do you simplify this? So it's a bit of a I'll simplify it this way. Yeah? So it's 49 into 5, 2 into 3, that is 6. 49 into 5 pi. I'm sorry. 49 into 5 pi minus 5 square into 5, that is 25 into 5 pi, divide by, back again it's 6, right? So what will be the values? 49 into 5 is 245, divide by 6, that is pi also there, minus 25 into 5 is 125, right? Over 6. So 245 minus 125 is 125 divided by 6, that is 25, right? 25. Fourth answer. Easy, right? Right. A vehicle moving at a speed of u took time t to change its speed v due to the application of additional power from the engine. The graph related to this is shown below. The equation of this graph is, right? So the equation of this graph. Now this is the thing. So we have the graph here, the velocity and time. So it's a y equals mx plus c type of a equation, and since this is velocity difference v and u, this is v, this is u, and the time here is given t. So the tangent or the slope of the graph is delta y over delta x, right? That is the slope, right? And that should be, if I apply the values, v minus u over t, right? V minus u over t. So that is m, and the sectors supposed to be u as well, right? So it's supposed to be y equals m is v minus u over t x, and where the y is crossing, that is u. So this is somewhat correct, but this should be u. Y equals v, not v plus u, that is wrong. Y equals v minus u t. This is correct, right? This is correct. This is the correct answer, right? That is the correct answer. Yes. 24th question, the angle of the sector of the cloth used to make the conical roof. So which means like angle of the sector of the cloth. So the cone is made using a sector like this. So they are asking the angle of the sector, right? They are asking for that sector. So that you can find using if you equal the two of the circumferences. How do you apply that? The angle of the sector of the cloth used to make the conical roof. Now here it's 3, this is 4, this is supposed to be 5. And if I drag this from the center, it will make the cone and the radius become the slant height. So slant height is the radius, so that is 5, right? That is 5. So you already have the radius, right? 5. And our radius is 5. So you can directly apply this, but you know the radius, you can find the arc length of this sector, and you can find the circumference of this bottom circle as well. And when I grab it from the point, the midpoint, it will form the complete circle of this. So the arc length here should equal to the complete circumference of this part, right? So now this is the thing. So I am going to put two of the equations. Which equation should I apply? So I am trying to find the formula for the arc length of this. So if I take this as theta, that is S equals r theta, right? S equals r theta, the radius is 5 and the theta is the angle, right? So it's all look like this is 5 and this is S, this is S equals 5 theta. So if I apply the circumference here, that will be 2 phi r, yeah. So it's 2 phi, the radius is 3, right? That is the circumference, and these two should be equal, isn't it? So 5 theta should equal to 2 phi 3, that is 6. So the theta is equal to 6 phi over 5, that is 6 phi over 5, isn't it? S equals r theta, so 5 theta equals 2 phi r, that is 2 phi, r is 3, that is 6 phi. So the theta should be equal to 6 phi over 5. So there is no such answer like that. Can we convert this back into something? Hopefully not. Even 5 over 2 isn't there. No. So it's all, doesn't matter. You take it as all, right? So the answer is supposed to be theta equals 6 phi over 5, right? 6 phi over 5. 25th question. The grid line drawn in relation to the mark obtained by students studying in a class in the advanced level technical stream is shown below. These are the frequencies and number of marks. So these are the attendees, right? The question, the number of students studying in the classroom. So there are 2 people who had 100 marks, and there's 2 of the 4 groups that had 80 marks, and 6 people who had it's not 6, right? More than 6, is it? No, it's directly 6, right? 6, yeah. 6 people who had 70 marks, and 8 people who had more than 70, that is maybe, yeah, 75 or something. No, it's reducing the values, right? So it's 60, yeah. And 3 of the people who had 50 marks, around 50 marks, that is 4, 4 and 4. And right, So this is what? That is 1, isn't it? So one size of a cubic. Yeah, that is one size of a cubic, and that is 4, and this is 2 size of a cubic, isn't it? Because this is 20 and this is also 20, that is 2. So it's 2 of the values. Yeah. So adding all together, 2, 4, 6, 10, 16, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 42, 44, right? The answer is supposed to be 40 something, but it's not there. So how much of a value is there? It's 62, 40. This is also 20, right? If I take it as so this is supposed to be 2 of the 4s, 4 and 4, right? That is only not 3. Yes, so it's now correct, I hope. 6, 10, 16, 24, 28, 32, 36, and are the heights same? Yeah, so it's 40 some of the thing, isn't it? This is not the same height, so like I can't see the height differences with, like, in a very close proximity. That's the issue. So yeah, these are not 4s, they are all 3, right? They are all 3. These are all 3. That's the issue. These are all 3s. So 3, 3, 3, right? So now if I calculate the values, 6, 10, 16, 24, 27, 30, 33, 37. Answer is 4. That is correct, right? Answer is 4. Right. The marks of several students are given below, right? The median of these score, the median is the Q2, right? Q2 value. Q2 is what? Half n plus 1. So here how many values are there? 3, 6, 9, 10. So it's 10 plus 1, 11. So it's 5.5. Q2 is 5.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. So it's 50 something value. Plus 5.5 is the difference of 55 minus 50 into 0.5, which is the half. And that is 2.5, right? So it's 52.5 is the Q2 value or the median value. 52.5. So the approximate answer is this, right? Approximate answer is this. Supposed to be directly 52.5, but that is approximate. So you can take it. Right. 27th question. In a rectangular pyramid as shown in the figure below, AE equals root 45, AB equals 4 meters, right? AE equals root 45, AB equals 4 meters, this is 4, BC equals 2 root 5, this is 2 root 5, okay. Find the distance of OE, okay, this one they are asking to find this height, right? So now, so if we can take this complete length, right, putting Pythagoras, applying Pythagoras to this triangle here. If I consider this complete triangle, right, that will be 4 square plus 2 root 5 square. I'll take it as C or something, C, the length is C, C square. So 4 square is 16 plus 2 root 5 square will be 4 into 5, that is 20 equals c square. So c equals, this is 36, c equals 6, right. So this is 36, sorry, this is 6. So this length should be 3, the half of it, right. So this is 3 and this is 3, this is root 45, we have to find OE, back again you have to apply the Pythagoras, that is 3 square plus root 45 complete square equals OE square, right. So 3 square is 9. Wait up. You have to deduct this, right? I'm doing this wrong. Should be other way, right? Because the root 45 becomes the hypotenuse, right? So it should be root 45 square minus, this is the hypotenuse, you minus it by 3 square is equal to OE square. This is the correct way of doing. So it's root 45 into its square is 45 minus 3 square is 9 equals OE, right? OE square. So 45 minus 9 is 36. So OE square equals 36, OE equals 6. That's the answer. Answer is not there. So these are back again the answers, not the decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the like the answers. So this should be the answer, right? 6. So the answer is 1. Answer is 1. Right. An example of valid URL is, there is www.hotmail.com, right? What is the shortcut key to open the front dialog box? That is Control D, right? What is the file extension of file created using word processing software? That is this, right? This WRD or TXT. What is it for? Is the fourth answer, right? Is the fourth answer. Is the fourth. Right? Is the fourth answer. When making a presentation using the PowerPoint software, the screen turns white and the key is used to make it black. So if you want to make it white, you press W. If you want to make it black, you put black, right? W and B. The key used to go to any part of the spreadsheet is F5, right? That is F5. Which of the following is a searching engine? Google. The files that can be attached when using email are word processing, PDF files, audio files, video files, all of the above can attach, right? 1 gigabyte is approximately equal to, that is 1000 megabytes, right? 1000 megabytes. The number of pages in a long article is indicated by the status bar. Not a function of an operating system. Input and output management, yes. Providing interfaces, yes. File management, yes. Memory management, okay. Email management is something there in the web, isn't it? So it's not a direct function of operating system, managing the emails, no. It's not a direct function, right? The child stores 45 joules of energy by placing a 100-gram stone on a catapult and pulling on its rubber band. What is the speed of the stone when it is released again? Right. So it's simply the conservation of energy, right? So 45 joules is the energy that is given, so that will convert into half mE square, which is the kinetic energy. So 45 joules equals half m, should be in kilograms, so you have to divide the 100 by 1000, you have to find the velocity v square, right. So how do you do this? Now there is 20, so you cross multiply it, v square equals 20 into 45 is 450, 900. So its v equals 30, right, 30 ms minus 1, right, v equals 30. 39. The electrical resistance of a conducting wire with a circular cross section of radius r is r. The electrical resistance of a wire of the same length made of the same material with a circular cross section of radius twice that, right. So you have to apply the r equals rho l over a equation. You just only have to compare the cross sectional areas because it's only considering the radius, right. None of the others have changed. With the circular cross section of radius r is the electrical resistance of the wire, same length, so it's the same length. L isn't changing, so the rho isn't changed anyways because it's the same wire, same type of a wire. So the comparison is between r and a, that is r is proportional, indirectly proportional to a, which is phi r square. So this is the first equation, right. And in the second it says like you increase the radius by 2, yeah, same material with a circular cross section of radius twice that, right, radius twice that. So in the second case you have to increase the radius by 2, so that is, I'll take this as r1, we'll take this as r2, so r2 is indirectly proportional to phi 2r square, right. So that is the second equation. So if I simplify this r2, that will be r2 indirectly proportional to phi 2r square is 4r square, so that is 4 phi r square, right. I'll take it as 3. So now if I consider the 3 and 1, you have to take a relationship between the third and the r1 and the r2, right. So you want to find how much is r2 in the means of r1. So for that is simple, you just have to divide 1 by 2, that is so you have to take the value of r2, right. So better you divide then 2 by 1 because r2 supposed to be on the top. So you divide 2 by 1, that will be r2 over r1, so you can easily isolate the r2, right. R2 over r1 equals phi r square to phi r square cancels out, that is 1 over 4 divided by 1, that is 1 over 4 anyways, that is 1 over 4. So r2 equals r1 over 4. So the answer is 1, right, answer is 1. The resistance of the circuit AB, the equivalent resistance, right, they are asking for the equivalent resistance, we'll find it, right. So I'm going to erase this part, shall I? Yeah, okay. So I'm erasing this part. Okay, do I have to? I don't know even, I didn't check. Maybe I don't have to. We'll see. Right. So how do you find the equivalent resistance of this circuit? You have to check. How do you find the equivalent resistance? So if you consider it from one side, the current enters from here and gets out from here, right? So if you consider it from this way, do you see this two of the resistors, 3 and 3? They are in the linear combination, so only one current flows through it, so it has to have the linear combination, right? So linear combination, if I consider the linear combination, this 3 plus 3 becomes 6. So the resistance here is 6, and this 6 and this 6 are parallel to each other. Do you see that? These two are parallel to each other, so it's the same value. So you divide the value of one resistor by the number of resistors, that is 6 divided by 2. So the equivalent of these two resistors will become 3, right? So here it's back again 3. So 3 plus 3 again 6, because these two becomes linear. Now this is 3 plus 3, 6 here. Now then this 6 and this 6 becomes parallel again. So it's back again 6 divided by 2, the equivalent resistance. So here it becomes 3 again, right? So all these resistors are cancelled out, because I am like reducing it. So again 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 and 6 are parallel. So this becomes 3. 3 and 3 plus 6, 6 and 6 are parallel. So this becomes back again 3. So again 3 and 3 are 6, 6 and 6 are parallel, so this becomes 3. So the equivalent final resistance is 3. Answer is 3. Answer 3. A wire of length L and cross-sectional area A is stretched so that its length doubles. Consider the following expression for the linear expansion of wire. A wire of length L and cross-section area A is stretched so that its length doubles. So it's stretched, so the length doubles. Okay. The linear expansion of the wire doubles. The linear expansion is something related to the heat. When you apply the heat, the length that it increase per degrees of Kelvin. So no, the linear expansion of wire doubles. No, linear expansion is something related to the heat. But the wire length L and cross section area A is stretched so that the length doubles. Okay, now this is the equation. So delta L equals alpha L naught delta theta, right? So if I consider the alpha and L naught, they are indirectly proportional. So alpha is indirectly proportional to L naught. So greater the length, lower the alpha. Now, but that is not the thing. The alpha is a constant that is only depending on the type of the material. So you can't still consider consider the alpha changes with the length, right? The alpha does not change with the length. Alpha only depends on the type of material. So the linear expansion of the wire doubles. No. The linear expansion of the wire is exactly half. No. The linear expansion of the wire does not depend on its length. Yeah, that is correct. Yes, that is the answer we are looking for. Linear expansion is the same as area expansion. No, it's double of it. Yes. So the answer is only the above statement, true about statement. Like C only, right? 3. Find the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water at 30 degrees of Celsius to 100 degrees of Celsius and completely convert into steam at 100 degrees of Celsius. This is specific heat capacity and the latent heat are given. So it's Q equals MC theta plus ML, right? MC theta plus ML, that's easy. So is the mass given? Yeah, 1 gram into specific heat capacity is 4200, that is in kilograms. If I convert it into grams, that will be 4.2 joules per gram per Kelvin. And the temperature difference here is from 30 to 100, that is 100 minus 30 is 70. I will apply the value directly. And plus ml, the mass is 1 gram. The L is given 2260 kilojoules per kilogram. So you have to convert the kilograms into grams, that is multiplying it under the division by 1000. That 1000 to, I am doing it mentally, I'll do it, right. So this is how it is, 2260 kilojoules per kilogram, right? So we want to convert this into grams because we are applying the mass here in grams. So to convert this into grams, you have to multiply this by 1000. So I am going to directly apply the 1000 value here. So 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. Now do you see this kilo is also 1000? So this kilo to this 1000 cancels out. So it's 2260 directly, 2260. Yeah, that is joules per gram. Now multiply this, you get the answer, right? 4.2 into 70, that is 294, right? Plus 2260, that is 2554 joules. Converting into kilojoules, that is this 2.554 kilojoules, right? Answer is 2. Right, come to the question number 43. In the figure below, the values of the two Bohr scales P and Q are 3 newtons and 4 newtons respectively, and the angle AOB is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. The value of the load W is, so it's this is P and Q. P is 3, P is 3, Q is 4, right? So it's under the equilibrium of 3 of the forces. So the resultant of the 2 of the forces should be equivalent to the third force. So the resultant of this should be 5. So it should be equivalent to the third force, which is W. So it's 5. Answer is 3. 44. When an object of volume 200 cubic centimeters is immersed in a liquid of density 1000 kilograms per cubic meter, the upward thrust exerted on it by the liquid is, right? So that is simply up thrust, U equals V rho G. It's easy, right? Apply the values here. U equals V rho G, right? So the V is given in cubic centimeters, rho is given in kilograms, G is simply the 10. So you have to convert the cubic centimeters into cubic meters. So for that you have to multiply this by -6. Now this is cubic meters. 10 to the power 3 is the density, that is per kilogram, a kilogram per cubic meter, and the 10 is the gravitational acceleration, ms minus 2. So you can simplify this how this 10 to the power 2 here, multiplying it by this, that is 10 to the power 5, multiplying it by another 10, that is 10 to the power 6. So all the zeros can cancel out. Yeah, so 2 left. So the answer is 2 newtons. 2 newtons of upthrust, right? 45. A 250 watts water pump attached to a water fountain throws 2 kilograms of water per second to a height of 5 meters at a speed of 10 meters per second. What is the efficiency? So you have to find the work output, right? So the work output here is 2 kilogram is raised up to a height of 5 meters at a speed of 10 meters per second speed. That is the potential energy and the kinetic energy together, right? So I am going to simplify it somewhere here. So this is mgh. Now what is the mass? 2 kilogram, 10, the height is 5, plus half m square is the kinetic energy. The mass is back again 2. The velocity is 10, right? So it's 10 square. 2 to 2 cancels out. There's 100. Here it's 2 into 5 is 10. Back again 100. It's 200 joules, right? So the 200 joules of a work is done. Then if I take it per second, that is if it happened in a second, that will be 200 watts. Yes. If I consider the operation happened in a second, that is 200 watts. So they are asking for the efficiency. So efficiency is the work output over the work input into 100. So the work output is 200 input is 250 volts and you have to multiply it by 100. So that is how much? 50 times 4, 50 times 5, 5 of 4 is 80%, isn't it? That's 80%. Yeah? Yes, 80%. 46. What is the torque produced when a rope tied to a stone is rotated in a circular path of 0.5 meters using a tangential force of 5 newtons? Right. So that is simply the torque equals force into radius here, right? Because it's the torque. Fr is the torque. So it's simple, right? Force is 5 newtons and the torque is 0.5. So 5 into 0.5 is 2.5 Newton meters. Easy. Sounds really easy. 47. A transformer needs to be built to convert 12 volts potential difference into 6 volt potential difference. So that's a step down transformer. Consider the following statement regarding this. First one, A. The number of strands in the secondary strand should be twice the number of strands in the primary strand. So what's this? So this is a step down. So the secondary should be less, the primary should be more, right? The number of strands in the secondary strand should be twice the number of strands in the primary strand. No, that is wrong, because it's a step down. It should be other way around. The number of strands in the primary strand should be twice the number of strands in the secondary strand. That is correct, because it's getting half. The number of strands in the primary and secondary strand should be equal. No, that is wrong. The diameter of the primary coil should be larger than the diameter of the secondary coil. That is somewhat correct, and yeah, that is correct, and should be in a ratio of 2 to 1 to make it a half, right? The diameter of the secondary coil should be larger than the diameter of the primary coil. No, that is wrong. So the answer, two of the answers are correct. That is B and D, right? B and D. Which of the above statement is true? B, D, 4. Answer 4, right? A crane lifts a mass of 1,200 kilograms to a height of 20 meters in 1 minute. The power of the crane. Yeah, so that is simple, MGH, right? So they are asking for the power. There is no time given, so you have to take the time as 1 second. That's all. So 1,200 into 20, that becomes MGH, right? So that is 24 into 10, 3. This is right. 24,000, isn't it? 24,000. More than 24,000. One of the 0 is excess. Yeah, one of the 0 is excess. So the answer is actually 5, right? Ah, no, the time is given, bro. I didn't even see this. Time is 1 minute. To height of 20 meters in a 1 minute, bro. I'm sorry. So that's 60 seconds. So 0 to 0 cancels out. 6 times 2. 2 into is 4. It's 4,000. Two of the answers are there, 400, then 400. One should be 4,000. So it doesn't matter, take 2 or 4. Any of the answers has 4,000 and take it as the correct answer, right? 49. A worker on the ground floor of a building throws a brick at a worker on the top floor. Find the work done by the worker on the ground floor. The distance between the workers is 5 meters and the mass of the brick is 5 grams, right? A worker on the ground floor building throw a brick at a worker at the top floor. Now, what kind of a worker does that? Find the work done by the worker on the ground floor. Yeah, the distance between the workers is 5 meters. That is MGH. Yeah. So 500 is 0.5 kilograms. G is 10. H is 5. That is 25 joules. Easy. Last question. A flow system consisting of pressure gauges A, B, C, D is shown in the figure. Water enters the system at X at a constant velocity with a pressure greater than atmospheric pressure and leaves at y if the water levels in pressure gauges A, B, C and D are HA, HB, HC and HD, right, respectively. They are asking for the pressures. So now this is the theory. So if we considered A1 V1 equals A2 V2 AB, greater the area, lower the velocity. Yes, greater the area, lower the velocity. And if I consider the Bernoulli's theorem, greater the velocity, lower the pressure, right? That is a consideration. Greater the area, lower the velocity, greater the volume, greater the velocity, lower the pressure. So you have to consider that. Entering from here, right? So here the area is high, so the pressure goes drastically down here. No, wait up. So here the area is very high, so the velocity is supposed to be very less, which means the pressure is very high, right? Pressure here is very high, and even here the velocity is very low, which means the pressure is high, but compared to this it's not that much. So this one is the greatest, PB is the greatest, then the PD, then the PA and the PC at final. So PB is the highest. Yeah, so the pressure here is the highest. So if the pressure here is the highest compared to the atmospheric pressure, if the pressure this is compared to the atmospheric pressure, if the pressure here is high, the water level will be more, right? So the highest water level should be there in the B, right? HB should be the highest, and the minimum should be the one having the smallest cross section area, that is C, and all the other two are in between. Yeah, D is the next highest. Yes, so answer is 4. So right, there is all up to this. So we have discussed, we have answered 5 of the full papers, and so this is the part 1 of the 5th full paper, and hopefully now you are all growing up really fast, and you are doing really good in the exams, and I'm seeing that you are improving little by little, so it's a really good thing. And you have like 30 days to go, and within these 30 days, you know, many things can be changed, right? So there is no, you know, fixed rules for this, right? So nothing is fixed, you can change everything. So you start trying at least by today, right? Start more at least by today. You know, you should have already started now. I hope that you have already started now. So yeah, you already have started now. So do better and do hard on give the maximum effort on whatsoever you are doing, and do it multiplied by 2, right? Multiplied by 3, doesn't matter. Like, give your maximum and try your maximum, because the numbers will be improving, increasing. I mean the score, the marks of your paper will be increasing, you know, really fast in these days, because your focus is really high, and everything will be really fine, and we'll try our best, and I'll be giving my best at any time that you need, and you know, you'll be at your best before the exams for sure, right? Then see you all the next week. Goodbye for now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey?